Well, this year we're celebrating a very special saint, and that is Saint Joseph, the foster father of Jesus. And unfortunately, Joseph doesn't get much information or attention even in our church liturgies. We only celebrate a feast day for him maybe twice a year. We do know a few stories about him, of course, in the scriptures in the early days right after, before and after Jesus was born. But the thing that I think is impressive to me about Joseph is that he was in touch with God. He was a holy man, a man of great faith, a man who experienced God in his life almost every day. And so when the challenge of being the foster father for Jesus came along, and all the different difficulties that brought into his life, he was able to manage that very well because he walked with God. He walked with him every day, and he knew that God would help him to be a good father. And that's what I would like a lot of fathers to understand, that when they take on the awesome responsibility of bringing a new life into our world, a new boy, new girl, into a family, they are really walking with God through that process. And they are cooperating with him to create this new human being. And so what an awesome responsibility that has to be, that they are participating in a way in the creation of a whole new person. And so I think we have to always understand that being a father, like Joseph, is to not only to trust God in the beginning of the process, but to walk with him throughout the entire life of the child as much as possible. Children need to know God and God as a father, and they can only know that very well if their own earthly father is an example of faith and an example of showing God's love to them. And so as a priest, of course, we were called father because we're in charge with the responsibility of bringing many people into the care of God, our loving Father, through Jesus. And what an awesome responsibility that is. Believe me, it's almost hard to describe it, that we are charged with that in our vocation as Catholic priests, that we're called to be fathers to all the people who are entrusted to our care. It certainly is a difficult and sometimes almost an impossible responsibility to fulfill, but at the same time, we know that God is with us. God is giving us the grace to be good spiritual fathers and to help other fathers and other families to become more spiritual as well. So the bottom line, in my estimation, is that for fathers to follow the example of St. Joseph is to get closer and closer in a prayerful relationship with God our Father. And for priests, for us priests, that we continue to live with an awesome experience of being a representative of Christ for his church, and that we too take a great responsibility on our shoulders to be spiritually helpful and grace-filled to bring God into the lives of so many other people. I would never trade it for anything in the world. And so I admire all fathers because it's such a great, awesome responsibility and not easy at all, of course. But with God's help, you and I and the rest of other fathers and the priests, we can do it all because God does it all. God bless you. St. Joseph, pray for us.